So we may have died and whatever. We may have perished, but we are going to continue on in the face of whatever the hell happened. I don't know. Everything just went down all of a sudden. My Discord wasn't working. My IDV wasn't working. My OBS wasn't working, and it was off long enough that it just completely disconnected and ended stream. But you know what? We're not gonna let that. We're not gonna let such minor inconvenience uh, stop us from happiness. So yeah. Anyway, back to reading. The destined cabinet held old books, their contents ranging from astronomy to law, architecture, medicine, and other diverse fields. The contents of the nearby jars were dried up, though one could still make out what seems to be biological specimens within. Ooh. A tall candlestick rested on the table, with a few bright white candles burning on it. Once the candles were lit, a distinct faint fragrance filled the air and quickly spread throughout the room. A reddish-brown model of Mars hung from the ceiling, with two earthy gray bodies orbiting it. The narrow window appeared to be sealed shut, and despite all attempts, it could not be opened from within. I had barely finished acquainting myself with the room when a gentle knocking sound came from the other side of the door. Oh my god, it's Ada! She's so beautiful, I swear. I love her so much. Alright. Let me think. Good evening, Mr. Inference. I hope our sudden arrival has not disturbed you. What brings you both here? With the crowd downstairs earlier, and time being so tight, we didn't have the chance to converse properly. Isaac, however, found this most fitting moment to venture out for a walk. Elsa, this place, it carries the same smell. Yes, it appears so, Isaac. If the scent continues to trouble you, perhaps you might linger near the door for a spell. I'd like to converse with you for about a few moments, Mr. Inference. It will not take long. Isaac gave a curt nod and left the room, while Elsa, her expression filled with regret, offered her explanation. I got a text message. Wait. Let me go read it real quick. I know, right? Truly. You know, this is something I realized. But like, Emil, he always looks so happy in all of his art. Like, he's always smiling and giddy or whatever. But most of the time in like his actual lore and story, he just seems so like, I don't know. Not exactly miserable, but like, I feel like he would not be happy or smiling. He just seems either confused or like in a like manic episode. I do apologize. The scones, is that? In our rooms are hopelessly dim, and it seems lighting the candelabra. Okay, so I know that's like this thing. But like, I don't know how to pronounce it. And I think it's like a cultural thing as well, so like I am sorry to anyone who I may offend. But I am not smart. Anyways, my husband is rather susceptible to those aromatic candles. What the... Okay, the way her eyes move. Okay, that is so weird. Like you see that, right? It's like a ball kind of bulging out. That is... Yeah, that is something. You know what? Let's just not look at that. I did not expect that even after changing rooms, we would still be troubled by such things. There is no cause for concern. Each person's constitution reacts differently to odors, a fact I fully comprehend. Isaac, I must admit, is rather unlike most ordinary men in all respects, especially with regards to his amnesia. The fact of such uncommon affliction, in the face of such uncommon affliction, I find myself filled with both intrigue and a measure of concern. When, may I ask, did Mr. Goodwin begin to exhibit such symptoms? Mr. Goodwin, Dr. Goodwin Turner... Okay, I think that's supposed to be in, like, the gray text. Dr. Goodwin turned her gaze to the door, sighing softly, her voice now tinged with a quieter, almost secretive tone. The unfortunate truth is that no one can say when it first began, least of all Isaac himself. A benevolent coachman found him abandoned by the roadside, and by the time he reached the hospital, he had no recollection of anything whatsoever. In my efforts to help him rebuild his life, I also searched for any signs of his friends or family, but alas, my search yielded no results. In time, our feelings for one another grew, and we were wed. I then took up a position at a more peaceful children's hospital. I had naively believed that all would mend with time, yet discovered that periodically the same dreadful nightmare continued to torment him. A nightmare? Yes, every time he succumbed to that nightmare, his body would convulse in the most frantic manner, his face would become taut, and he would babble incomprehensibly. It was in that instant that I came to understand the true suffering caused by his amnesia. It was not simply the loss of his memories, but a deeper, more insidious wound. Thus, I resolved to find a cure for him by any means necessary, if only to spare him from the torment of those dreadful nightmares. Elsa. Isaac's quiet voice called from the other side of the door. For him, this brief moment of waiting in solitude may have stretched far beyond what he could endure. I must be on my way. I sincerely hope our visit has not been too much of a imposition on you. Once the Goodwins had taken their leave, I planned to retrieve my pipe and resume my musing on the case, yet to my astonishment, it had vanished. As I searched for my missing pipe, a series of deliberate knocks echoed from beyond the door once more. Detective, it seems I had inadvertently disturbed your rest. My apologies. Nevertheless, I have come to return a certain article to you. Reaching behind her, Lady Aurora retrieved a small, elegant pipe, and at once I recognized it as my own. I presume this belongs to you. I found it by chance in the hall earlier, and now I return it to its rightful owner. Many thanks. Truly, I am indebted to you for bringing it to me in person. Despite the lingering confusion as to when the pipe had been misplaced, I still extended my thanks with a semblance of courtesy. Sound effect? What sound effect? It was no trouble at all, and I had in truth wished to have a word with you, Mr. Inference, about the matter of the 10th floor. Oh god, the lights are out, what the fuck? Before Lady Aurora could complete her statement, the lamp in my room sputtered and died, leaving the room to be consumed by the darkness, the darkened stillness of night. What on earth is going on? Could it be a power failure? The knocking? What knocking? What? Is that from the game itself, or like, am I doing something? It might be like, okay, it might have been me like moving my phone around, or like moving my hands around. I'm not sure. Is there knocking noise? How could you do this when the lights turn out? Stay where you are and do not move. I'll step outside and see what has happened. No, I have to go downstairs in the dark. Bro, why did you have to mention the fucking knocking? I'm paranoid now. Hey, what's going on? Why has the power gone out? What in the name is going on? Ouch, who stepped on my shoe? Sorry, I was trying to go downstairs to take a look around, but I couldn't see you there, at all in this darkness. Oh, good heavens, what in the world is this? At that precise moment, a shriek of fear echoed from the first floor of the tower. It sounded like Dr. Goodwin. The scream sent a chill through all of us on the floor above, and we hastily stumbled in the blackness towards the floor below. Through the swirling darkness and chaos, a sharp rustling was it from the game or like from my actual like audio? Because it could be like my family moving around as well, because they are awake, and like I'm not really able to hear that with my headphones on. A sharp wind brushed past me, as if someone had fleetingly passed by. It struck me as a little more than a transit illusion, and I gave it no further consideration. I quickened my step towards the lower floor. When I arrived on the ground floor and followed Dr. Goodwin's gaze, a sudden jolt of surprise overcame me. Liar dies. Under the waning firelight, two words began to glow with a ghastly it's like I know the word, but I can't say it right now. I just know it means glow in the dark. Upon the ancient wall there, where the stone of truth had been placed. Liar dies. Moments later, the power in the tower was restored. The oppressive darkness lifted as the world gradually transitioned from shadows to light. The two fluorescent words that had been so painfully conspicuous in the dark were now barely visible under the bright light. Though the glowing letters had vanished, the curse they carried remained, an insidious shadow in the minds of all who had seen them. I saw the sheriff step out of the basement as it had been he who, without hesitation, had gone to mend the electrical fault when it had first occurred. Seems it was just a short circuit caused by old wiring here, folks. Everything should be fine now. I replaced the old cables. A short circuit? Why would such a strange thing happen now of all times? This tower has stood for over a century, and compounded by years of decay. It is only reasonable to presume that the wiring has succumbed to ravages of time. Well, that's where you're off. They renovated this place just 3 years ago. 3 years is hardly a brief span of time. Also, one must consider the possibility of that rats in the basement could have nibbled away at the wires. Miss Herschel, I dare say rats are hardly known to leave glowing marks on the wall. I'm aware of that. The writing on the wall must have been caused by... The girl's face drained of color, and she glanced uneasily at the wall ahead, trying in vain to piece together a logical explanation to challenge the idea. Having been singled out as the only liar of the night, she was in a dire need of a reason to disregard the words on the wall. After much deliberation, she finally turned to me, her eyes filled with quiet desperation. Detective, what do you make of this? I silently surveyed the room, the guests murmuring softly, unwilling to disturb those who lay in wait within the shadows, scheming in silence. However, I could not bear the sight of this poor girl, her face etched with terror, falsely anticipating some impending calamity. Miss Herschel, there's no need for such alarm. The writing on the wall might not be intended for you at all. But I'm the only one who lied, and everyone knows it. Even the Celestial Divine knows. The terrified little unbeliever, once so assured of her own conviction, now found herself doubting them. Perhaps it would be wise to identify the miscreant at once, for the blackout tonight could very well be orchestrated by them. Oh no, Ada! Dr. Goodwin, pray tell, were you the first to uncover the writing upon the wall? Indeed, once I left your room, my husband and I descended and returned to the 3rd floor. To our astonishment, no sooner had we entered the room than the power cut out. We promptly stepped outside to investigate and found the surrounding area was equally dark. Recognizing the possibility of an electrical fault, Isaac and I made plans to descend into the basement and assess the situation. Upon reaching the ground floor, I saw those 2 horrifying words etched onto the wall. I couldn't restrain myself and let out a cry of terror. It was not long before you and the others arrived. When you descended to the ground floor, did you confirm that there was no one to be seen there? I had asked the most crucial question. If it could be confirmed that someone was below, it would imply that this was no mere accident, but rather the result of human interference. Though the situation in the hall was unclear at the time, theoretically, no one else should have been present. My nails are like so long, it's irritating me. I need to cut them soon. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Yay! What makes you so sure? My husband and I were the first to arrive on the ground floor, and we remained there. We are, therefore, keenly aware of the precise timing and order in which each person descended. I have thoroughly verified it, and without a doubt, everyone made their way downstairs only after the electricity had gone out. Everyone, you say? Would you be so kind as to provide a detailed list? I most certainly can. The boxer from the 4th floor was the first to arrive, followed closely by you and the 2 men from the 6th floor. 2 minutes later, Mr. Melodis arrived, accompanied by the 2 frightened ladies. Next came Miss Aurora, and finally the astrologer. Okay, that's interesting. She was literally in our room, so... yeah, that's suspicious. Then, the last to arrive was Mr. Poet. Mr. Poet was nearest to the first floor, yet he was the last to arrive here. This is true, but it would seem he harbored a fear of the dark. I could feel his pace was slow, almost as though he were taking one cautious step after another. Are you suggesting that, when the lights went out, he remained in the confines of his own room? Indeed, as we passed the second floor, we distinctly heard him in his room, asking what was happening outside. Are you certain? I see the source of your suspicion. His floor is indeed the most convenient for avoiding the gaze of others while making his way to the basement. However, Isaac and I went straight downstairs upon realizing the power had failed, so if he had returned to the second floor, we most certainly would have seen him. Moreover, we made a point of speaking with him as we descended, and there is no mistaking that we heard his voice. I see. Make sure you also drink some water. Mr. Poet, being so close to the first floor, did you happen to observe anything strange before or after the blackout? After escorting me back to my room, I occupied myself with reading. Oh wait, I got a text message. After he escorted me back to my room, I occupied myself with reading. There was little to know until the power went out quite suddenly. Soon after, I heard the Goodwins descending, and I asked them from within my room what had occurred outside. As Dr. Goodwin replied, the commotion outside intensified, and I distinctly heard her cry from the lower floors. It is true that I am afraid of the dark, thus I refrained from leaving my room. And then I heard you and the others coming down the stairs. Roughly 10 minutes later, and I made my way downstairs, where I discovered everyone in conversation about the particular symbols on the wall. You know, maybe if you don't drink water, I'm just gonna not appreciate you. I appreciate people who are healthy and well cared for. My nails are so long, it's like causing pain to my fingers. Like my skin is getting irritated. I need to cut them soon. Thank you for the hearts. I love you too. When Mr. Poet spoke, I observed his breath was somewhat labored, and his forehead bore a thin sheen of sweat. I wonder, what has caused you to perspire? What has caused you to perspire so? Is your second floor room particularly warm? No, it's not that. It's just I suffer from night blindness, and when the power went out, I became quite anxious in the dark, hence the perspiration. I see. In that case, if you stayed in your room, you must have heard the others descending the stairs, yes? Yes, following the Goodwin's descent, the boxer wasted no time in stepping out to survey the situation himself. Following that, it was you, Sheriff, and the clerk, then Mr. Melodis, and the two ladies. And finally, it was Lady Aurora. Very well. Thank you for the information. Sheriff, may I inquire whether you discovered anything of interest while inspecting the circus below? The basement was far darker than upstairs. Had I not had the candlestick to light my way, I doubt I would have found the path at all. Save for a broken wire, there was nothing of interest to be found, and, of course, no suspicious figures in sight. The sheriff pulled a replacement wire from behind, and I noticed, just by the point of damage, a residual warmth coagulated wax. Oh my god, it's wax artist's fault. I think, I don't know. Does wax artists have the ability to make wax in this universe? Is patient still a hooker in this universe? Like, a lot of things are similar, so you know, maybe. This hardened substance, could it be wax? Is it possible that the wire causing this short circuit wasn't worn out by age, but rather burned through by candle wax? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Candles have wax too. I guess it isn't wax artist then, damn. That's why I can't be a detective. No. My stream chatter is still taking over my YouTube. I can't comment. Shaking my head. Wait, how do I close the chat thing now? Wait. No. Wait. Oh no, I broke my chat. I can't read what you're saying anymore. That's so sad. Okay, there we go. Yay. Wait, let me put it on live chat so I can see anything you say and everything you say, in case they decide to block anything. It's okay. In maybe 24 hours, he'll be officially gone. Now, whenever I comment on your stream, it'll be me, and you'll know who I am, I guess. As I scrutinize the wires, I couldn't help but notice a faint, glowing residual on the sheriff's hand. It's a good thing I don't have my chat on screen. That would be quite unfortunate. Well, it's time to pull out the moderator hat. I hope you know, I will banhammer you. Mr. Anderson, did you happen to rub your palm against something? This? It likely came from handling the basement door. No wonder my palm was itching. Blast it. Why wouldn't this wretched stuff come off? It appears to be particularly sticky fluorescent powder, one that is particularly invisible under normal light. I suggest you spare yourself from the trouble. Very well. It seems I have no other choice. Following this exact exchange, a vague suspicion began to take shape in my mind. Two truths regarding the blackout tonight. Nevertheless, one crucial evidence still eludes me. Only then could I prove my theory. The writing on the wall appeared to be a mixture of wax and some glowing substance. Hardly visible under strong light. Though barely discernible, the odd shapes and impressions of the letters were clear, unnervingly so. It became evident the blackout had not been a mere accident. Rather, it had been carefully orchestrated to ensure all present would notice the markings on the wall. It appeared that someone had snapped off a piece of the candle on the table, the missing section measuring roughly 15 centimeters. Furthermore, the color matched exactly that found on the basement wire. This, it seemed, was the cause of the power failure. A candle of this size would need about 20 minutes to burn through the missing portion. 20 minutes ago, around the time the trial of truth concluded and everyone made their ways upstairs. Therefore, the last person to ascend the stairs tonight must have been the one responsible for the blackout. Okay, so she went after the good ones. And I'm pretty sure he went before her, so that's Lady Dawn, I'm pretty sure. Indeed, the last person to ascend the stairs at the time must have been the Lady of Dawn. The time had continued. The time had come to resume my interrupted conversation with the elegant yet shrewd lady in the corner. It's always the hunters. They're always evil. Lady of Dawn, I believe you wish to speak with me before the lights went out. Might this be a good time to continue our discussion? Forgive me, detective, but the particular matter has grown somewhat unclear in my thoughts, and I fear it is no longer necessary to trouble you. Pardon my boldness, but I suspect the topic you intend to raise earlier has something to do with the 10th floor. And the reason you no longer require my assistance is because you've already investigated the matter yourself, have you not? And what leads you to this conclusion, if I might ask? The reasoning behind my supposition, okay, is simple. After the lights went out, you did not immediately descend to investigate. Instead, you only appeared after a delay. Indeed, the only location in the tower that could tempt you into the darkness is undoubtedly the 10th floor, home to the infamous cell tied to the goatee legend. I must admit, the allure of the mysterious room did intrigue me, but I dare say scrutinizing a lady's conduct may be deemed somewhat improper. It is from this that my conclusion arises that tonight's blackout was in fact a carefully crafted ruse, which you yourself orchestrated. Testimony records. No, this is not the clue in question, really? Okay. It would probably be the wire then. You waited until everyone had made their way upstairs, then discreetly snapped the candle from the table, lit it, and descended to the basement. Then, taking advantage of your visit to my room to return the pipe, you attempted to convince me to accompany you, using the blackout as an excuse to investigate the 10th floor together. The proof of your involvement in this mishap in the basement, I suspect, is now in your possession. Do you mean to imply that my hands are marked with the same fluorescent substance that stains the sheriff's? I'm afraid I must disappoint you. You see, my hands along with my gloves bear no such marks. I cast my gaze back to the elegant lady, intent on uncovering the vital evidence she had so carefully concealed. The gloves were adorned with fine embroidery, though the needlework seemed slightly irregular, suggesting something amiss. A pristine pair of white silk gloves, the palm smooth and unmarked, free from any blemish. Lady of Dawn, I fear these gloves have already betrayed your deceit. After all, a lady of distinction would never conceal such exquisite and intricate embroidery beneath her gloves. Alas, it seems you discovered my little secret. I had hoped to keep it hidden for just a while longer. The Lady of Dawn, with an air of elegance, removed her gloves, and sure enough, the same fluorescent powder appeared on the inside. It is as you deduced. I confess, I was the one who left the candle in the basement, hoping to find an opportunity to slip away to the 10th floor. Yet, there is one point I must address. The blackout tonight was not the result of my actions. And what do you mean by that? After Carefully calculating the candle's effect, I must say with certainty that the blackout has occurred no less than 2 minutes earlier than I planned. Well, maybe the candle burned faster. I don't know. Fire is not an easy thing to, like, predict. Maybe you suck at math. Not everything's gotta be perfect. Oh shit, I dropped my blanket. 2 minutes is not a lot of time. Like, fuck, things could be off by like 5 minutes if it were going by like candle wax burning. Hence, before my candle could ignite the short circuit by burning through the wire, the power had already been shut off. You must believe me when I say that my original plan, so meticulously crafted, allowed me enough time to persuade you with just the right rhetoric. Are you suggesting then that tonight's blackout was the work of another, and that the cryptic writing on the wall? Naturally, that had nothing to do with me. You see, my only intention was to persuade you into investigating the infamous, mysterious cell. There was no need to frighten the others with those cursed words. The Lady of Dawn's words set my mind racing. The true culprit behind the blackout remained elusive. But who could it be, and why leave behind such an unsettling curse, a truly peculiar mystery? Mr. Astrologer, what are we to make of these strange writings on the wall? Could this truly be a curse from the Celestial Divine, aimed at me? I believe the detective's word hold merit. Perhaps the warning from the Celestial Divine was never meant for you. You have already confessed your deceit before the Celestial Divine, and I am certain that the most sacred of entities would not condemn one who sincerely repented. No doubt, another among us seek to exploit the situation, attempt to deceive and outwit the Celestial Divine through their scheming. I believe this is the true reason the Celestial Divine issued a warning from the depths of darkness. The astrologer's eyes swept over the gathered face, a silent, piercing scrutiny that seemed to carry an unspoken authority. You truly believe the Celestial Divine would kill someone for lying? Has such a thing ever occurred before? Never in past rituals has anyone so boldly angered the Celestial Divine. I cannot promise that his wrath will not fall upon the deceitful. However, should this individual choose to repent before the stone of truth, I trust that the Celestial Divine will grant them an opportunity to atone. The ritual tonight will proceed as planned, but should anyone leave out of fear, I shall respect their decision. I studied faces around me in silence, searching for the faintest sign of panic, anxiety, or guilty satisfaction after some unspoken transgression. Regrettably, each person wore a flawless mask of earnest reverence, with no hint of unease. In the thick stillness of anticipation, the astrologer sealed the tower's gate and other points of entry, declaring that the divination ritual would soon begin. I feared that moments left for me to uncover the truth were rapidly dwindling. Chapter 3. Deception concealed in darkness. Wait, hang on. Wait. Oh shit, where is everything? Okay, I messed something up. There we go. We fixed it. Huzzah! Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me typing? Wait. Let me send you a little message. Was that like audible? Following the astrologer's consult, the devotees who had previously undergone the trial could now decide the order of their participation in the night's divination ritual based on the outcome of their celestial cards. The gentlemen, led by the clerk, wasted no time in beginning their game at the card table. To everyone's surprise, the clerk triumphed in the first round of play. The gentlemen, led by the clerk, wasted no time in beginning their game at the card table. I won! I truly won! Does this mean that I am at last to receive the fortune I've always longed for? Congratulations, Mr. Clerk. Don't start thinking you're the bee's knees just yet. I yield the honor and trust that fortune will favor you henceforth, sir. Good to know, good to know. Hang on, let me go type something else. Damn it, that didn't work. Wait. Oh, wait. It's because I didn't capitalize it. Okay. I got it. There we go. I commended you for the first to hear the stars. Come, follow me to the rooftop. I request that the rest of you remain here. You may either continue the game or wait in silence. The tower's rooftop shall remain closed until the ritual reaches its end. With these words, the astrologer led the clerk up the stairs, his face alight with glee. I stood in quiet contemplation, hidden in a dark corner, my mind still reeling from the unanswered riddle that had left me uneasy. Shaking my head. I can't believe you. And I thought we were friends. I thought you cared about me. Seems I was wrong. That's it. The ban hammer is coming in. Wait, how do I ban someone? I can block and report someone? Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna figure this out. Let me see if I can... Ooh, I gain a subscriber? Oh, that's you, okay. Wait, I got this. Ooh, I can go to your channel, see your channel activity, pin your message, report you, remove you, put a user in timeout, hide user on this channel, and add as a moderator. You know what? Let me see. I am going to do this. There we go. Perfect. Alright. What startled me was that DM had taken the initiative to invite me into the next round of cards. Mr. Reference, are you not curious about the Celestial Divine's insight? Perhaps you would like to try a round of Celestial cards. I fixed Melodis with a probing gaze, seeking to uncover the secrets behind his sly smile. Indeed, from the moment he appeared tonight until now, he had not once acted in a manner that might raise suspicion. Yet it was precisely this detached indifference, this lack of concern, that made his demeanor all the more unsettling. It occurred to me that perhaps the most prudent course of action would be to accept his invitation, allowing the cards themselves to guide me towards his hidden intention. Oh no, not the card games! Wait, here. I didn't get to look. Oh no. What the hell? DM sucks. My sincerest, It's okay, I couldn't figure out how to do it. You're safe for now. Okay, wait, can I make you a mod? Let me see. Here, okay, managing moderator can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. It also has the capacity of standard moderators. Standard moderators can review and remove chat messages and or hide or put users in timeout. Would you be able to put me in timeout? Do I want to give you this power though? You know what? Maybe next stream. I want to make sure I can keep that little pin message right there. You know what? Just to make sure, hang on. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Wait, you know what? We're gonna do a little quick detour. Can I make it so that it captures? This is unlocked, yeah. Properties. Yeah, there we go. I just want, you know, the messages to be remembered. Anyways, back to IDV. We shall never forget that you said such things. Anyways, now you can have moderator position. Here you go, standard moderator. Wait, what did Elsa? You have won the game, yeah. It would seem, Detective, you are the second person to be favored by fortune tonight. My heartfelt congratulations. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to risk anything, you know? Yay, look at you. You're a moderator now. Yes, you are. Pet, 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 pet. It may well be this game's outcome was determined by divine providence. I sincerely wish you success in the ritual this evening, Mr. Prince. The wind came with such bewilderment. I could only offer a polite smile, though I was not moved by it. Shortly thereafter, a swift rhythmic pounding of feet could be heard from upstairs. It was the clerk, no doubt, making his way down after completing the ritual. His countenance was illuminated with utter fulfillment and fervor, as though he had just been privy to some thrilling, sublime encounter. Good gracious, what marvelous, awe-inspiring ritual this is! Words fail to do it justice. My good friends, I stand at the threshold of a new beginning, ready to bid adieu to the tiresome, uninspired days of my past. Besides, the celestial divine, never before had I seen the world with such clarity. I could even glimpse the very future that awaits me. Friends, let us raise our glasses beforehand to the birth of a new Frank Gaudi. The clerk laughed as he returned to the hall. His earlier melancholy vanished entirely, now replaced by boundless energy and an unstoppable stream of words. He seemed as though he were a completely new person. Could this be the power of the divine? Though others saw me as the next lucky one, favored by the celestial divine, I was left with nothing but a deep sense of bewilderment and uncertainty. I accompanied Mr. Duval to the tower pinnacle, where a vast terrace lay beneath the sweeping brilliance of the star-filled sky. With deliberate steps, I ascended the immense circular stage, my senses My senses alert as I study the items around the divination table with both wonder and wariness. Atop the divination table stood a towering towering candelabrum. Kind of like Umbreon, maybe. Its flames burn with a scent that seemed oddly captivating. It was reminiscent of the heavy and fragrant scent in my own room, yet here it seems to be tinged with a particularly peculiar acidic edge. There on the table lay a clear vial filled with a deep red liquid. It is strange allure, impossible to ignore. One could only pray that this wasn't the substance one would be expected to drink during the ritual. A gleaming crystal ball sat upon the divination table, its translucent surface hinting at the mysterious power of the astrologer might use to peer into the future. In addition, the table was laden with numerous heavy books, no doubt ancient tomes for scholarly inquiry. The table was surrounded by 4 bizarre stones, each of a distinct color, their faint glow flickering softly in the starlight. Oh, it's Skizor! Hello there! Oh no, not the skid mark. Yeah, I gave Rat Lord God powers. Be careful what you say around him. The table was surrounded by 4 bizarre stones, each with a distinct color flickering in the starlight. It made me think of the evidence the sheriff had discovered. There seemed to be an eerie connection between the two. I did nothing wrong. All I did was just give someone god powers. He can time you out, I think. I only gave him level 1 of god powers. Well, if that's what you want. Mr. Infernus, I must say I am intrigued. What purpose do these glowing stones serve? Oh my god, he's gone! What the fuck? The message has been deleted. Wait. Oh my god, he's actually dead. What the hell? How do we unban him? Oh my god, what have you done? Oh god, you killed him. You murdered him. Alright, that's nice. Well, that was an incident. Alright, Mr. Astrologer, I must admit, I'm intrigued. What purpose do these glowing stones serve? I procure these meteorites from a collector, hailing from the very stars above us. These 4 meteorites were divided into pieces and placed here to help me better channel the cosmic force of the stars. These 4 crystals symbolize the 4 elements of astrology: earth, fire, air, and water, known collectively as the cardinal elements. No! No! Don't try to get murdered again. Wait, hang on. Can I do it? Let me see if I can do it this time. Put user in timeout. We're gonna do it for like... We're gonna do 10 seconds. Let me see what happens. Is he back? Okay, he's back. That's cool. Wait, wait, are the previous messages just all gone now? Alright, enough trying to get murdered. I must focus on the story. Otherwise, I'll be here all night. These 4 colors symbolize the 4 elements of astrology: earth, fire, air, and water, known collectively as the cardinal elements. I see now. In that case, I surmise this crimson-hued meteorite must represent the elements of fire. As my eyes fell upon the red stone, its soft pulsating glow seemed to call to me, and the inexplicable urge to place my hand upon it rose within me. My hand, almost on its own accord, began to reach out, but before I could proceed, the astrologer's voice, heavy with warning, brought me to a sudden halt. Do be cautious, Mr. Inference. The stones are coated with a peculiar glowing powder. Once it settles on any surface, cleaning it off is nigh impossible. Be it out of reverence for the celestial divine, or for your own ease, I would console against laying a hand upon them. Without a word, I drew my hand back, but the astrologer mention of fluorescent powder remained firmly etched in my thoughts. This, for the moment, was the sole clue linked to the Star Sacrificer case. It seems wise to devise a plan to investigate it further. Let us cease our conversation here. Now lay your hand upon the Book of Divination. I shall grant you access to the gateway of the stars. Fear not, for as long as one's heart is pure and untainted by lies, the celestial divine shall not withhold his blessings. Lies. The strange luminous warning on the first floor wall flashed in my mind, stirring a whirlwind of disturbing thoughts. Before I knew it, I felt my Oh, this is why you're just online? Oh, yeah. Hello there, Shiva! Wow, look at me, I'm famous now! 3 concurrent viewers. This would be great if it was Twitch, though. That would actually, like, what is it called? It'll add to my ability to eventually get monetization over there. Should the mods be saying slurs? It's okay, he gets preferential treatment. Before I knew it, I felt my mind unraveling, a dizziness closing in, and a phantom ache began to throb through every fiber of my being. Just before the pain overwhelmed me, I sensed a cold, liquid substance being forced into my mouth. What? Surrender your thoughts. Do not fight it. Venture into the innermost mysteries of your heart. Reflect on what you seek, and the stars shall provide the answers and illumination. Oh, we get a video. Replay is corrupted and cannot be loaded. What the fuck? Well, I hope that was not important. We're just gonna back out of that. Damn, that seems really important to the overall lore of truth and inference. Too bad we didn't see them. As those far-off memories slowly dissipate, my muddled mind regains lucidity once more. I realized with sudden clarity that the pain had ceased, and I was now immersed in a profound state of peace. Why is my chat about slurs now? What the hell? The chaos in my mind settled, my thoughts aligned with clarity. A numerous faint detail that had escaped me were now brought into sharp focus. This unfamiliar and odd sensation aroused a wave of discomfort within me. I instinctively furrowed my brow, turning my gaze to the astrologer, who sat composed beside me. Astrologer, what in the world just happened? Congratulations, the stars have bestowed their favor upon you. The ritual is complete. Upon returning to the hall, I found all eyes upon me, almost urging with questions and curiosity. What? Please do not send anyone to any fields. No, no one is being sent to the fields. Stop it. Stop that. Don't make me time you out. You want mod ship as well? I mean, I shouldn't be giving out mod chip like it's candy, you know? Like, I gotta reserve it. I would love some rice, honestly. Upon return, urging me with questions and curiosity. Still reeling from that bizarre vision, I found it difficult to adjust to the weight of so many peering eyes upon me. In complete contrast to the clerk's lively chatter, my quiet demeanor led many to adopt expressions of uncertainty and worry. Mr. Inference, do you feel alright? If you're feeling unwell, Elsa and I can escort you back to your room. Thank you, but I feel perfectly fine. I just need some time alone to recover. I'm glad to hear that. We were expecting you to be excited, much like Mr. Gotti was after the ritual. When you descended without a word, we feared something had gone amiss. It appears that the effects of this ritual differ from person to person. How fascinating. Now, I am intrigued to see what sort of reaction the poet will experience after his ritual concludes. Is it the poet who will be next to undergo divination? I glanced at the brooding youth encircled by the crowd, and clearly remembered the wish he had uttered before the stone of truth. I desire the blessing of the celestial divine, that I may be cured of this wretched affliction of the scales that plague my body. We already read that. Standing at the brink of this long-awaited ritual, should he not be joyful at the thought of his wish being realized? Oddly enough, his countenance seemed devoid of any extraordinary joy, even extruding a strange sense of calmness. As I gazed upon him climbing the stairs, a familiar breeze brushed my skin, and instantly a sudden recollection struck me. I blocked the young poet's path to the stairs, fixing him with a penetrating stare, as if attempting to peer into his very soul. Pardon me, Mr. Inference, what exactly are you doing? I looked at his hand, where particularly hidden by his sleeve, a faint green glow marred his skin. As expected, he had gone down into the basement. Yet, why did Dr. Goodwin hear him in his room? What crucial detail had I failed to notice? Mr. Poet, when the ritual is complete, seek me out at once. I have urgent matters to discuss with you. The young poet met my gaze wistfully, offering no further inquiry. He agreed, then proceeded up the stairs. I observed his shadow cast on the wall by the light above, growing increasingly blurred and warped as he rounded the corner until it slowly disappeared. Soon after, the crisp sound of the metal chains on his cloak vanished, fading with each step until it was entirely gone. As time drifted on, the female student and the seer continued their conversation on astronomy and astrology by the bookshelf for quite some time. The sheriff and the boxer, having patiently endured the clerk's loathful talks on stock investment, repeated countless times, could barely hide their fatigue. As for the others, they had begun the next round at the card table, and the match appeared even posed. Only I kept my gaze unwavering, fixed on the stairs, awaiting the poet's return. I never imagined that one day you, Mr. Inference, would wait so intently, your gaze fixed as though seeing into the distance, and that it would not be for a lady. Could it be that there is something about this particular person that has captured your interest? Some kind of unique discovery, perhaps? Mr. Melodis, are you truly without anything to do this evening? You think too highly of me, Mr. Inference. I am nothing but a well-off, carefree fop. A what? There is no need for someone like me to get involved in such an affair. What does that even mean? Hey Sheba, you're smart. Tell me what it means. Yeah, what is a fop? Are even the matters of your own family beneath your concern? As I understand... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Are even the matters of your own family beneath your concern? As I understand it, this case involves 4 lost lives. Naruhodo. Understandable. Yeah, he is very pretty. I see. Upon hearing this, DM dropped his playful grin, his eyes narrowed, filled with both caution and curiosity. Are you investigating me? Indeed, the matter I'm investigating does concern you. It was only after I tracked your... Ah, shit, my nose. Ah, I hate pollen season. Oh my god. Anyways, indeed, the matter I'm investigating does concern you. It was only after I tracked your movements that I came here. Our meeting is no mere accident, Mr. Melodis. And thus, our meeting here is no mere... Huh? Okay. He just repeated what he said. Our meeting here is no mere accident, Mr. Melodis. Thus, our meeting here is no mere accident, Mr. Melodis. What the fuck? You came here for me. Is it the Star Sacrificer case you're investigating? Could it be that you suspect me? These are whispers that you have been experimenting with different drugs in your search for a unique formula, and that those who died fell victim to your poison. I like trees, especially the trees that kill people, because I do not like people. My sources tell me that tonight you will conduct the final experiment with your concoction in this tower. A deadly concoction? Huh, how utterly absurd. I do not believe such a thing. Do you? Until I find critical evidence, I believe nothing anyone says. My trust lies only in my own observation and deductions. I see now. That ill-fated poet on the rooftop is the critical evidence you uncovered. Whether he shall provide me with this critical evidence or not, I cannot say at this juncture, but it is certainly not without reference to the matter at hand. I have no idea. We got a fool's gold in the chat. You, tell her, is Dip Knight alive? Oh, it appears you have found something after all. The curious thing is, the critical evidence I believe to be most crucial also happens to lie right here atop this roof. I couldn't say what Dia meant by critical evidence, but it was apparent that we were both intent on solving the riddle tonight. In that case, let us both see what unfolds. With pleasure. To make the waiting more bearable, I began to glance around the hall, taking in every corner. Photograph. Who's impregnating who? You know, it would be nice if you guys don't do that. Yeah, stop such behaviors. That's not good. You should get that checked out. No, please don't. Not in my chat, please. My hopes for monetization. Think about my money. You're gonna get my channel deleted. I remembered that the phonograph had been set against the wall, but now it looked slightly crooked. Oh hey, it's green now. What is this? In the dim light, the needle in the corner of the cabinet seemed to bear a faint glowing mark. Could it be more fluorescent dust? Does this mean the phonograph has been moved? I suddenly recalled Dr. Goodwin had mentioned a response, and in an instant the mystery that had perplexed me unraveled. At that precise moment, footsteps began to echo from upstairs, accompanied by the familiar jingle of metal chains. I watched as the poet's shadow drifted across the wall, followed by the faint sound of a door shutting on the second floor. Perhaps the effects of the ritual left him feeling unwell, for after he returned to his room, he didn't emerge again for some time. While I hesitated on whether to... What the hell is going on in here? Rodent nobility. is a non-believer? What is the non-believing in context to? Oh, as long as you guys are happy, I'll let you guys be free. I hesitated on whether to head upstairs to find him. The unmistakable sound of footsteps came from above. This time, descending the stairs was none other than Mr. Duovo, the astrologer. Will the next guest partake in the divination? Follow me upstairs. Hearing this, the Goodwins, the winner of the 4th round of cards, immediately stepped forward from the crowd. Mr. Astrologer, might I accompany my husband? I find myself concerned for his well-being. Forgive me, Miss Goodwin, but only one person may receive the blessing during each divination ritual. I ask for your patience as you wait here. Before he left, Isaac gave his wife's hand a reassuring squeeze, urging her not to be overly concerned. Aw, what a sweet guy. Elsa, I'll be alright, I promise. You don't need to worry. I'll do as the astrologer tells me, and I'll get better. Stay here, and wait for me, just as I'll wait for you. Dr. Goodwin nodded, and despite the overwhelming worry and reluctance in her eyes, she had no choice but to release her husband's hand. Do not worry. I have no doubt that Mr. Goodwin can take proper care of himself. We should stay here and wait for him together. Dr. Goodwin nodded, and with Lady Aurora's quiet reassurance, she returned to her place at the table. Much like Miss Goodwin, I too was filled with unease, my eyes still fixed on the door, waiting for the poet. It was strange. The 4th round of divination was already underway, yet Mr. Asaf had yet to emerge from his room. If the ritual caused him discomfort, it seems only logical to accompany Dr. Goodwin and investigate the matter further. I relayed my worries to Dr. Goodwin, and she responded with a quick nod of comprehension. Your concern is well-founded. I, too, feel somewhat ill at ease. Allow me to accompany you upstairs to check on the situation for myself. With our plan settled, we proceeded to ascend the stairs, bound for the room on the 2nd floor. However, to our shock, a tortured cry pierced the air the very next instant, emanating from the top of the tower. Dr. Goodwin was momentarily stunned, her voice quivering with terror. She shook as she spoke. That's Isaac! Without hesitation, she rushed ahead, and I followed in her wake as we rushed towards the tower's rooftop. Upon reaching the top of the tower, we saw Isaac collapsed on the ground, writhing in agony and utterly insensible. Isaac, what's wrong? Mr. Astrologer, what happened? I'm terribly sorry, but Isaac's mind reacted to the ritual with violent intensity. In the face of his mental resistance, I was compelled to halt the treatment immediately. Mental resistance. Exactly. Both the Celestial Divine and I were unable to reach him. A barrier stands in the way. How could this be? Isaac has always shown a willingness to cooperate with the treatment. I cannot speak for the reason for such an outcome, for this is the first time I've encountered a situation of this nature. I fear it may be the consequence of some deep-seated wound upon his memory. I heard him, in his stupor, uttering the same words repeatedly, as though caught in some nightmarish recollection. I caught the faintest trait of a word, something akin to mist. Mistral. Yes, that was it. As Mr. Goodwin remained unconscious at present, we discussed the matter once he awakened. In the meantime, I will escort him back to his room to rest. I suggested we do not take him back to his room. Isaac's sensitivity to the scent there could worsen his condition. It would be best to return him to the first floor hall to rest. I will make sure he is well attended to. Acting on Dr. Goodwin's advice, I quickly returned Isaac to the hall to rest. This unexpected turn of events caused the others to crowd around, their eyes full of concern as they walk on. Upon hearing that the mishap had occurred during the ritual, a momentary flash of surprise flickered across several faces. Lady Aurora alone furrowed her brows, leaning in to take a careful look before expertly assessing his physical condition. Mr. Goodwin exhibited signs of mild poisoning, which would account for the disorientation he is experiencing. Who's calling who a slur? What the fuck? I look away for how many seconds? Probably a decent amount, and you guys are fucking calling each other slurs? That's it. Everyone's getting banned. I'm tired of you. No, that's too much work. I have reading to get back to, you know? I'm just gonna ban you. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna do something worse, actually. Instead of banning you, I'm just going to... There we go. Now you can live with that. Think about what you have done. Accept the consequences of your choices. Yay! Oh, his name isn't Blue, so he's not a moderator anymore. Should I give back the mod powers? Oh yeah, that's true. It would be a shame if I don't have a moderator. I guess I should give mod powers back. Give me a second. Give me a second. There we go. There we go. You know what? Wait, hang on. Let me do something fun with the chat. Can we do that? Community moderation, participants. No. Oh shit, what have I done? Wait. There we go. Let's do this. Alright, here we go. We got a poll going on now. Oh damn, it's oh damn, it's more than 50% no. Damn. That's quite a shame. Wait, can I vote on it? Oh, here you go. It's now 50-50. Yay. You know what? Would you look at that? It technically goes to yes now. You can have your little moderator powers back. There you go. Only one person is allowed power at a time, though. Have him drink some water, then moderate for any vomiting. Be careful that the vomit doesn't block his airway. He could choke. Poisoning? That's impossible. Isaac hasn't eaten anything since he arrived. Only then did I notice that Isaac's lips had taken on a distinct purplish hue, and that there appeared to be some liquid residue at the corner of his mouth. Could it have been something he drank just now? We'll need to ask the astrologer to enlighten us on the matter. With a single flippant sentence, DM pointed the finger squarely at astrologer, causing every eye in the room to turn towards them with suspicion. What the? Damn it, I give you god powers and you immediately start removing messages? Is that gonna permanently delete the rest? Is that gonna permanently delete the rest of them? Wait, are they just gone now? Oh no, the memories of Sheba has been deleted and erased. Can I reinstate it, or is it just gone now? Damn, that's so sad. I'm so sorry, Sheba. Yeah, I can see. Damn, that is like damn, that is so unfortunate. But anyways, I gotta get back to reading, so you can deal with that by yourself. Seems like a women's issue. I'm not gonna step forth and help. However, the young astrologer met Melodis' accusation with complete composure, betraying no sign of fear. It's true. I did indeed give Mr. Goodwin the water of purification, but I can guarantee it was free of any poisons. This is an integral part of the ritual. Every guest seeking blessings has imbibed it, and I can assure you there's nothing amiss. That's right. The astrologer made me drink something, but I've experienced no adverse effects, and neither has Mr. Inference. I vaguely recall drinking something in a haze of confusion, but clearly, unlike Mr. Goodwin, I haven't suffered any ill effects. And what of the poet? DM's words brought forth the troubling realization. After retiring to his room, the poet had not re-emerged, raising a new wave of suspicions. Allow me to investigate this. Allow me to investigate this matter. With that, he immediately ascended to the second floor. After a brief yet anxious wait, the sheriff returned, his face marked by a somber expression and a hint of uncertainty. He's not in his room. Does anyone recall when the poet might have left? We conversed with Herschel near the stairs and didn't observe anyone coming down. How unusual. His things are all accounted for, and he hasn't even taken his coat. He couldn't have gone anywhere. As it's clear he didn't come down, let's all go upstairs and search for him. After thoroughly checking all the rooms upstairs and finding no trace of the poet, a growing sense of unease began to take a hold. How bizarre. How could he simply vanish? Are we certain every room has been checked? We've gone through every room, but there's no sign of him. Not all rooms have been searched. The 10th floor remains unexamined. Exactly. As Mr. Duval mentioned earlier, access to the floor is strictly prohibited. Surely, this rule could be temporarily set aside in light of this sudden disappearance. What? Yeah, Maud, get him! I'm not here to question that. Hold on now. Have you all so quickly dismissed what just happened? The unexplained blackout and the ominous writing on the walls. Who's to say this isn't the Celestial Divine's punishment for someone breaking the sacred rule? A warning, and now the poet is gone. You know what? If he says it's a good question, I'll let it slide. No, neither the power outage nor the writing on the wall were signs from above. This was no divine warning, but an event obscured, orchestrated by human hands. Are you suggesting someone intentionally cut the power and left those writings on the walls to strike fear into our hearts? Precisely. If my theory proves accurate, the missing poet himself is the architect of this scheme. Was it him? The M's expression tightened, his brow knitting slightly, as though my deduction had been woefully unexpected. By what reasoning do you assert this with certainty? The basement door's handle is marked with a unique fluorescent substance, inevitably leaving traces on anyone who crosses its threshold. Besides the sheriff, who handled the electrical repairs, I found the same fluorescent residue only on the poet's hands just a moment ago. So your theory is that the poet, lodging on the second floor, managed to sneak into the basement unnoticed and shut off the power. Precisely. If my deduction is correct, the writing on the walls are also his doing. But I distinctly recalled confirming that he was in his room when the power went out. Isaac also heard him. Even if he dashed back from the basement the moment the light went out, it would have been impossible for him to reach his room before Isaac and I descended. Furthermore, I'm convinced he was inside when the lights went out. That voice, I know what I heard, and I wouldn't be mistaken. Odd indeed. Could it be that the man has a double? We're neglecting an object the poet had brought along, one that might very well have served as his double. Oh, the phonograph! I led everyone to the gramophone and ensured it was properly connected to the power supply. I placed a tone arm at the record's rim and drew the lever behind it. The needle descended slowly, producing a faint whispering hiss as it meets the grooves. Time passed, yet the gramophone produced only a steady crackling noise. The sound everyone has been expecting remained absent. Mr. Friends, could it be that the record is defective? What exactly are you trying to reveal to us? Steady on. Now, I urge you all to wait a little while longer. Over 2 more minutes pass in tense silence, the gramophone offering nothing but its ceaseless crackling, until at last a voice, unmistakable and known to all, filled the air. What's going on? Someone tell me what is happening out there. What on earth is going on? Could it be a power failure? I must admit, I'm a little afraid. Could someone check the basement and find out what is happening? Is it? Mr. Ossoff's voice. Yes, it's identical to what I heard outside his door during the power outage. Then, the voice I heard at the time came from this phonograph. I think the phonograph could be used in such a cunning way. No wonder he went to such lengths to bring it here with him. His face was the picture of serenity. I never suspected for a moment that the phonograph was anything but a gift for the astrologer. In light of all this, I'm left wondering just how much of what he said to the astrologer was the truth, and how much of it was a lie. That's right. In hindsight, his words before the stone of truth were evasive, laced with ambiguity, and practically impossible to decipher. Precisely. I thought it was peculiar. Even then, everyone here was a stranger to him, and yet he spoke of seeking a friend. As he used it, the term friend sounded like a vague and elusive concept. Still, I'd wager you lot haven't been entirely honest either. At the boxer's unexpected comment, the gathered few hesitated, the mood dipping into a brief and uncomfortable hush. The astrologer regarded the room in a measured silence, his gaze as deep as the firmament and as cold as the star's argent glow. The truth is evident. At last, Mr. Ossoff, masquerading as a disciple of the celestial divine, has come here under false pretenses. No, it is 2 a.m. in the morning right now. I'm not shouting anything. Pay me with a super chat and maybe I'll try. Taking advantage of our faith and kindness, he has willfully sown chaos this evening, seeking to disrupt the participation of others in the divination ritual. It may well be that the incident during Mr. Goodwin's ritual was in truth the consequence of an unspoken dread taking root in his unconscious mind. Witnessing Mr. Goodwin's ill fate, he was seized by a guilty conscience and stole away, unnoticed, which explained his sudden disappearance. With all due respect, Mr. Astrologer, I find myself inclined to differ. At first glance, the inscription on the wall seems to be nothing but menace and malediction, yet one might also discern a cautionary light, a subtle warning rather than a curse. Indeed, one cannot ignore the fact that not every guest present this evening harbors a spirit of genuine piety and veneration. The evidence is before us. Mr. Goodwin, in the throes of the ceremony, narrowly escaped a fate most dire. I do not appreciate you guys right now. That's it. I'm going to revoke your modship again. What's this? Why am I being added? Alright, no god powers for anyone. Everyone's gonna be useless. Yay! Now back to the game. What if the marking upon the walls were never meant to be a threat, but as an earnest admonition we fail to heed? In addition, while inspecting the rooms, the sheriff remarked the poet's belonging, including his coat, had not been removed. However, desperate his escape, no man in his right mind would leave behind his overcoat on a night as cold and dark as this. The key point is undeniable. There is no way in or out of the tower. Through the hall, the window in each room are securely fastened. No route remained open to him except the main doorway, yet it is beyond question that he never descended the stairs. We can draw, what we can draw is this. He must be hiding on the tower's 10th floor, the one place, the one place still unexplored. The I love you too. Anyways, back to the story. No time to pay heed to that. The floor housed but a single room, sealed off for 100 years or more. Not even I have the means to open its door. If he sets foot inside, he will quickly realize that there's nowhere to hide. I do not believe he stayed there, and I must warn you not to venture in too close. Tell me, Mr. Astrologer, are you reluctant to let us approach that room because it was once the prison of the Goatee himself? Quite so. The tale was passed on to me when I took ownership of this place. Of the devil's cell that once served as the prison of something monstrous. Wait, no, don't do that. If you're gone, what is even the point of me being a streamer? Here, you can get your moderator back. There. Because I love you so much, so I wouldn't do this for you. Here you go. Yay! And everything worked out in the end. Choose your next words carefully. I have my button. You said the wrong thing. I'm taking away mod chip again. Anyways, back to the story. They say that the eerie laughter, agonized shrieks, and mournful wail would echo from behind that door when midnight fell. Come dawn, the prison would be rife with grim discovery. Prisoners inexplicably injured, some raving in madness, others found dead. Not long after, Goatee escaped. The prison warden met a grim fate, his body discovered within this very building. Since that fateful night, the chamber has remained locked, untouched and undisturbed, as the prison crumbled into ruin, decaying into the hollow shell it is today. The astrologer's words left the gathered company speechless, as a heavy silence fell over them. Their fear of what... Their fear of what laid on the 10th floor deepened. Be it a rumor or reality, the chamber hardly seems like a refuge. Could we extend our search beyond the tower, perhaps outside its walls? I'll think about it after I finish the stream. Yay! Outside, you mean to suggest that the poet somehow managed to execute a daring escape, like something out of a play, slipping through a secret tunnel. What do you think, Mr. Inference? You know what? You know what? We're just gonna. We're just gonna. There we go. What the? Well, that's all 3 votes. Anyways. Well, maybe you should get a friend to go help you bot the vote then. Skill issue. Alright, back to reading. In the absence of a clear solution, a thorough process of elimination is a method in itself. That's not true. I'm pretty sure Skeezer's like the same age as you. Having scoured every corner of this tower, it would be folly to ignore the one place that has yet to be searched. Alright, fine. Let's see. He's 19. Whoa, would you look at that? There's 5 votes now. Damn, how did that happen? Wow, that's crazy, man. Whoa, the number just randomly went up. Can you believe that? I sure cannot. Wait, there's 6 votes now? What the hell? 7? Where are you people coming from? Damn. I can't believe he actually bought at my channel. What the hell? You know what? Fine. You may have cheated, but here you go. Here's your godhood back. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. If those ghastly rumors truly frighten you, then allow me to go alone. Fear. You'll find no such words in my vocabulary. No luck will keep us out. We'll find something strong enough to bring that door down. Oh my god, we're going to the laboratory. What the hell was that? With a powerful blow that shook the wall, the forbidden room atop the tower was finally forced open. No sooner the iron door swung ajar than my eyes landed on the poet. He sat motionless in a chair, silent and utterly still. But what no one could foresee was the dreadful reality of the scene. The poor poet had already breathed his last. Well, that's the chapter end. What happened while I was gone? What the hell? Oh, have you... oops, sorry for the spoilers. We kind of just ended the chapter, you know. You guys are 1 year apart from each other. Ooh, look at all these things I can claim. I got friendship letters. And I got a... Oh, I got a standby motion unlock. Wow, I wonder what I can do with that. Oh, that's cool. They give like little things. To be honest, I don't think it's very likely Emil would die. That and Ada, because they are returning characters from the Castle of Zenida event. So it's kind of, they're not exactly main characters, but they're important enough characters that it's not really worth killing them off, if that makes sense. Whose character days have I not seen yet? What's this? Who messaged me? Oh, that's nice. Let me collect my dailies, and you guys can go have your little fun in the chat. Oh. Oh, I got antiquarian. That's cool. I don't want antiquarians. Let me see. From the rank rewards. Let me see. Can I tap it? There we go. I want the patient silhouette and the journalist silhouette. I got composers, but like, I just want like those two because they're like my mains. So I think it's in like April 20 something, so probably like 2 more weeks. What's this? Do we have week 3 available? No. Why are they notifying me? Wait, let me play the card game real quick. Oh, I can finally get the astrology table. I've been behind. You know, I'll do multiplayer to make it more fun. You guys can watch me do horrible. And where's the last one? I haven't been paying enough attention to the chat. He can do whatever he wants. Right here, and here. Damn, what the fuck? Oh, I tried. Oh yeah. Yay, we got the table now. Well, that's fun. Alright. Is everything cleared out? Oh, I have this now. Yeah, I'm not gonna put it anywhere. What? Who? Your roommate did that, or like your cat? Where's the little graffiti for Auntie? Nice. Hmm. Do I have anything I can unlock for patient? Stand and ready. I like a stand one, honestly. But I kind of want to have some of like the visits, but you know what? It's fine. I'll get the stand one. Yeah. Maybe I should go out on the ready one. The ready one's cute too. Oh, do you use the stand one as well? That's nice. Wait, who's this? Aw, thank you. I love you too. Yay! Anyways, as for stream, there's not really much left to do. So, thank you guys for watching! Yay! We're gonna end stream. And I don't know what I'll do next. We can hang out off of stream or something. Yippee! Oi! Stop fighting each other in the chat. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!